You got two offensive linemen from the same school, running back also from that same school. How did the recruitment of those kids kind of come about?
Yeah, Scotty Graham did a heck of a job finding those kids up in the Phoenix area, and really loved the way the Apollo program was built. Built from kids from that area, not a lot of transfers in or out, and those kids kind of grew up in the program and developed, and fantastic work ethic over there. Coach Walls does a great job getting those guys ready to go. Am I allowed to say? Edit that out if I'm not allowed to say coaches. I have no idea what am I allowed to say.
You're good.
I'm good? Yeah. Keep that guy's name in there. He did a fantastic job getting those guys ready to go. They, come from a tough background, all three of them, but they've worked their way through it, and we're really excited. We're adding those kinds of kids to this program. Great workers, kids that just want to develop and get better, and we're really excited to add all three of them to the program. They're all going to bring their own special attributes, but we really feel like we're lucky to get those guys.
Justin and Brian.
For Johnny, can you address the additions that you guys made in the secondary and how these guys are going to bolster that unit, considering you're bringing everybody back?
Yeah, and when you look at the roster, obviously next year everybody's coming back, but our safeties, most of those guys, are seniors. So that was a big focus going in to really try to rebuild our depth back there. Genesis and I think DJ are the only ones that are younger. When I say freshman, sophomore, so we needed to bring in, body, types like Genesis. What I was looking for was more speed, especially now with the dollar package that we have. We're playing with 7 DBs, so to increase that number was a main focus for us, especially in this exciting class.
In the portal, you also got Chuba Mai, the big D tackle, who's originally from Long Beach. What can you tell us about that connection?
We got 3 kids from Long Beach. Paulie's a powerhouse. Is proven, very productive young man. His first year was a big sky performance for them. The biggest thing for me is when you're building the defense, you always want to build from inside out. Having Bill and him next year, I think that's going to add a lot of beef in the middle. To help our mini-me linebackers, you know what I mean, to take the pressure off of those guys.
Brian and then back to Michael.
So Bill is intending to come back for next year as of right now?
He better come back. You don't have a choice.
Other than Kamuela starting in the Territorial Cup, you didn't start any freshmen this year on defense, whereas you kind of moved in that direction the first year. Is it just because of the depth that you've built up now that you weren't reliant on freshmen? You may not have to expect these guys to be instant contributors in the 24 class?
I think that's you hit it right on the head. I think when we first got here, my plan was to play a lot of true freshmen. I knew it was, the first year you're going to have to build, with the young guys. And then the plan was to bring some portal guys to help those young guys. So when you look at it, like you said, we didn't depend on our freshmen to play, that much like we did my first year here. So that was a plan moving forward.
Michael? One question for each. First for Johnny. It's kind of rare these days for any entire position group to come back, but that's what it looks like right now for your secondary. What does that mean to you?
Chemistry, and I think the relationship we have with our guys. They know they're cared for, and we're really passionate about our relationship with our guys. And I think they trust in the way we're coaching them. We're honest with them, which is now is hard to find in college football. The truth, you know what I mean? Tell them exactly how they can improve as players, but also how you care about these kids. And I think these kids are starting to feel that, and that's the main reason why you keep the core the way it is. It's the trust that they have in their coaches.
Brennan, Coach Fish said that Joe Borjon, Raymond Polito, and Jonah are kind of moving around a little bit as you're figuring out the pieces with Jordan Morgan having left. How do you see that?
Yeah, it's a really special opportunity for us because we haven't had these practices and given these young guys opportunities to move around a little bit. Usually when you go week to week, it's tough to make a move in 3 days. But we've had, I don't know how many practices we've had so far, but it feels like a lot, and I'm glad we've had them. That would get those guys opportunities to move around. get to positions that they may develop into later. So this is a very unique situation where we get a chance to, try guys out and see what the best fit is. All three of those guys you mentioned have the ability to play tackle, and we're still kind of working through. We'll probably finalize it when we get to Texas and figure out what the best format is. But all those guys will be fine if they go in there. Really excited about what they've shown in practice this week, and really the progress that they've had in those roles. So it'll be a good fit, I think.
Are you hesitant at all to move Jonah to the left side since he's already played two positions this year with that third round?
Yeah, it's always a concern, and if we didn't have this time, I wouldn't do it, but we do. So we have time to work it out and develop. And fortunately, Jonah's a fantastic athlete, so he can move in and out wherever he needs to. But it does take some time, and we've been granted that time. So it's a unique situation. It's a fantastic situation that Jordan's moving on to the NFL, and he's going to go live his dreams and do all those cool things. And then that's given some new guys some opportunities. So it's special all around.
Jordan and then Jason.
This one's for Brennan. With Dylan Tapley, he played on both sides of the ball throughout his career. What ultimately did you see would make him a good fit on the offensive side for you?
Yeah, really, he's got tremendous ball skills on both sides of the ball. So we had him here in one of those 7-on-7 camps over the summer, and you couldn't take your eyes off him. And it didn't matter who was on offense or defense; like he's catching the ball, one which way, shape, or form. Had a lot of picks on defense. Just a natural football player is the best way to put it. He just has a great knack for finding space, for making plays. It may not be a traditional role that we have him in, but he's a special kid, so we're excited to have him part of the program.
Jason and then Jenna.
Both of you in this classroom past have reached into the JUCO ranks. That's something that not a lot of schools do now. What is it about the JUCO ranks that you like, especially for linemen? Kind of coming out of that COVID season, and really with the NIL and the portal, a lot of things have changed, and sometimes the JUCOs get overlooked, and those kids are still playing college football too. They're playing at a high level, so when you get a chance to evaluate those guys, sometimes those guys get overlooked, and you find some gems, and so we'll always turn over every leaf that we can to go find the best players, fit this program, and continue to build it the right way. And if those guys make it fit, I don't really care where they come from. So,
I think with the junior college guys, they're getting left out because of the portal. But there's a lot of good quality football players in the JC ranks, and relationships that we have with these coaches is the reason why we signed Bryce. There was a phone call that was made. Kid didn't get recruited by too many people. His film was just as good as the portal guys or the high school guys, and that's how we got him.
What do you like about him in terms of position?
He could play either outside or he could play three technique. When you look at him, you can even tell he's a 300-pounder. He's slim, he's very athletic, he's a true three technique, which I'm accustomed to. So that was the thing that jumped out to me.
For someone like Michael Wiley, who's been through the rebuild and everything, how special is it for you to get to see him play in Texas in his home state in his final college?
Yeah, he's obviously really excited about getting to play his final game as a Wildcat in his home state. It's a really special moment. Dalton Johnson's from Texas as well. He's getting to back and go play a game there. But Mike's made it very clear, how you could call it amazed he is that this happened like this. All the things have aligned after having to go through such tough times. So can't be happy for Mike. He's ready to rock. He's had great practice this week, so I know he's excited to end off on a good foot.
Troy and Ryan. One for both of you guys. First, Johnny, what did it mean for this recruiting class to get a guy like Clark at the last minute there?
It was big. He's a big-time kid that we've been recruiting for almost 2 years now, 3 years. Jay Rich did a great job of recruiting the kid and stay on it. Like I said, the opportunity to have a season where we're taking advantage of the winning season by getting the players that I think that could come in here and make an impact. And he's one of those kids. But I think it's a credit to Coach Richardson to keep staying on no matter what it was. We were going to try to finish this thing, today. When they faxed it in, everybody thought he was going somewhere else. But credit to Coach Richardson. He did a fantastic job of getting the kid, and it's going to help us.
And then, Brennan, in terms of the offensive linemen in this class, what do you like about them? How do they meet your mold in terms of what you guys like on your line?
The two guys that are coming in early, Michael and Matthew, those guys are the Apollo kids are ready to go. I think right now they're going to start competing right away. It's kind of what we expect of all our guys when they come in. Whether they play as freshmen or they're just able to back up, we'll see how far we can take it. And then when we add Justin from up north in NorCal, he's a fantastic prospect. He's just a great size, great athletic ability. All three of these guys, they all kind of fit different roles, they're all kind of different shapes and sizes, but they all have a position, flexibility. So I really like that they're versatile. They can play both sides of the ball. Because all three of them play defense, and really showed great toughness and athleticism. So really excited to add these guys. I think it's a really good group.
For both of you, well, Oklahoma can kind of just look at the film from your games this year to see what you may or may not do. Oklahoma's had a lot of changes. Quarterback's gone, new offensive coordinator, other players that are in the portal or whatnot. What kind of disadvantage does that put both of you in as far as like game planning when you don't know about some of these players that are going to be out there?
I'll take this first. They're not losing a lot of guys on defense. They got a really good defense. So, Johnny?
We're going to practice what we saw on film. I don't think they're going to install a brand new offense in 3 weeks. They still have great players. It's Oklahoma. So we just got to be prepared for what their personnel is, the people that are there, the skill guys. They got great skill guys. I think the young quarterback is pretty good. So we got to be ready for it. And, we're going to have some twist, with the new offensive coordinator. But, so we'll be ready for it.
Two questions for Johnny. The first one is that Mike linebacker position. There's been a lot of guys kind of in and out and different personnel you've been utilizing at that spot. What's the outlook for that position in the bowl game and then heading into spring?
Right now Justin Flores has been taking most of the reps, and he really had a good 2 weeks of practice. Irby will be back, so those guys are sharing the reps during practice. But then, moving forward, I think, like I said, Justin's coming back, hopefully a year from now in the system. He's going to get better. That's going to be the challenge moving forward. And then the young guys, we got to get stronger and faster. But we, Kamo and Tay, it's going to be some competition this spring. And then some new backers are coming in.
My second question was about Irby, so
Yeah.
he's going to be available.
Yeah, he's been at practice. Yep.
Is Haimuli still with the team, or is he gone?
He's around.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm supposed to comment on those things, but he's around.
Okay. And then, what are your guys' history coaching against Oklahoma?
This will be the first for me. So, I'm excited. But it's a great bowl, though. I heard some of you guys are not going to go. It's one of the best bowls I played in it and coached in it. So now I get the second chance. It's a great opportunity for our kids, for our program, to go down there and play a team like Oklahoma.
Be a heck of a matchup. I played against them one time. But it was a long time ago, so there's not a lot of crossover. A lot of different coaching staff members and players. They had Adrian Peterson, but that doesn't here nor there. We're really excited. This is a great matchup. Really excited to play this team. They're a fantastic football team. They've been great for a long time. It's going to be a tough matchup, but one we're really excited about. I know our guys are fired up to play. Tucson's fired up playing a bowl game, man. It's been a while, so we wish we could have got there quicker, but we're here now, and excited to see what happens.
For both of you guys, the portal is kind of all the rage these days, and a lot of programs are kind of building their teams that way, or utilizing maybe more than you are. Coach Fish said you use recruiting like the draft, build your team through the draft, and the portal is to sort of supplement, maybe fill in the gaps. Why do you guys believe collectively in that philosophy, that can still work in today's day.
I'll take this one. I feel like if you trust your ability to develop players, I think that's the right way to do it. If you can recruit through high school and bring those kids up and bring them into your program and show them, what your expectations and your standards, and they believe it and want to be a part of it. And, sometimes guys will leave, but you'll be able to supplement through the portal. You add guys here and there that can benefit both parties. Upshaw's a fantastic example of it. Guy's a one-year guy that, didn't get the shot somewhere else, had a shot here and had a fantastic season. Cowling, continued his production here, guys like that. But I think those, like it is free agency, it's a lot of, sometimes one-year guys. It's hard to build a culture around a guy that's going to be there for 6 months, 12 months. If you build it through the high school ranks, those guys are, and you do a good job and take care of them, they want to stay here or in the place you're at. Philosophically, then, that's how you build a strong foundation, and then you just supplement on the edges, as opposed to having to bring in 20, 15, 21 year, maybe 2 year guys that are kind of in it for I want to show what I can do and get out. But I think if you strong core through the high school ranks, that you got a shot to be strong and have continued success. Johnny?
Yeah, it's sad, to be honest with you. The portal has really changed recruiting. In the last 2 weeks, I think I spent more time in my career on college campuses than high school. I think I can count on one hand in 2 weeks how many high school I've been to. It's just because the portal has really taken over the game. But I think we've done a great job as a staff. When you look at who we're taking, if we're going to take guys, let's make sure we take guys that we could develop. Because once they sign with you, they're done. So if you get a guy that's been there for 3 years, now we got a chance to develop them. You might have to take 1 or 2 guys that are 1 year that come for 6 months and leave, but you have to build your program to the 3 years, or the 4-year guys that wants to leave after their freshman year, because the game is still about developing players, and I'm a true believer in that. So, but it's unfortunate some of the high school players are getting left out because of the portal. So as the junior college, that's why, to answer your question about the junior college, there's still a lot of great players out there, but now you got to rely on coaches and relationship in trying to get some of those names.
All right, that's our time.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you guys. Happy holidays.
Who's going and who's not going? You going?